How willing are you to change the cycle? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what I'm going to say here today is going to offend many of you. All the audiences I've spoken before would not take physical and or emotional pain and trade it for success. You didn't see your parents trade it. They didn't see their parents trade it. And we do what not we're told to do. We do what we see our parents do. So if your parents are weak wusses, the odds are you're going to be a weak wuss as well. Many of you have been called, you're worthless, dipshit, you're never going to amount to anything. And unfortunately, unless you do something, it will be almost impossible for you to break the cycle of poverty. Unless you have dreams that outstrip and go far beyond your education, you will not likely break the cycle of poverty. Nothing's impossible, but almost impossible. Some of you realize I was a barrio bad boy. In jail 5 times. Flunked out of university 3 times. I've been called meathead, dunce, retarded growing up because I was always a fuck up. And yet here I am. Because remember, it's not what happens to you in life. It's how you interpret what happens to you in life. But for the first 40 years of my life, I was a ruthless motherfucker. I had a dream. I wanted to be in a castle on an island. I dreamt that. It consumed every thought. I made it my business to be exposed to the highest performance people I could find. And in the beginning of my life, that was the military. And the military has turned me from a boy to a man. Being a high-performance person 100% of the time, being all you can be, is a full-time job. There are no part-time high performers. I have mentees that I've produced in the last 26 years that make $5, $6, $7 million a month. How's that possible? Because they work 120 hours a week. A young man asked me, how do I man up? What he was asking me is, how do I grow a pair of balls? Most of you weren't programmed to be a high-performance person. Most of you weren't trained to be a world-class person. Most of you were not trained by parents that were capable of sending you to the Olympics. Not the Olympics where you run and jump, but the Olympics of life. How do you get to be a gold medal holder in whatever you do? Success needs clues. The most successful person you know or you may have heard of, how does he or she act? What does he or she do? You pattern yourself after them. Kids are not programmed for success. Because you did what not your parents told you to do, you did what you saw your parents do. Your parents lived paycheck to paycheck. Your grandparents lived paycheck to paycheck, meaning there's no money left over for anything other than putting food in your mouths and some clothes on your back. And if love got the job done, we wouldn't be here. I'm here to tell you, love doesn't get a goddamn thing done. And unfortunately, neither does that. Because if that were true, then the most poverty-stricken countries that are the most religious countries wouldn't be so fucking poor. Because they're the most religious. They've lost hope. And they think that the Savior's gonna come again. Well, I'm the closest goddamn thing to a motherfucking Savior you're ever gonna meet. You've changed. And when you start to be successful, you've changed. And because you want to be a pleaser, you go back to default. And default's a bitch. Default is where you were. 99.9% of the planet are pleasers. You want to be liked. Some of you even want to be loved. You don't want people to say bad things about you. If you want to be liked in life, you're going to have a hard fucking time. Love and or religion do not get the job done. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I'm the only one that I know of that preaches this. And I preach it because I tell you the cold, hard facts. Because I don't give a shit if you like me. I sure as shit don't want you to love me. But it's not impossible. It's only impossible if you quit, you'll never make it. I could have quit 5 times in jail. Flunked out of university 3 times. Did stuff that's ugly beyond your wildest comprehension. But I wanted to be more than that. I wanted to break the cycle of poverty. But if words from others control you, you're fucked.